Hey guys, this is Jamie. So today I want to talk about specifically, I wanted to talk about trans issues, and specifically, I feel like the voices of very loud detransitioners are causing a lot of shit to happen. So I want to speak out against it, obviously. I want to say that obviously I'm a trans guy. I've been um out for around 10 years. I don't even know at this point. I knew, obviously, I was trans from a very early age. I spoke about it to my mother. My mother refused it. And I pursued transition. I documented it pretty much in a very accessible way on this channel. And I've been pro LGBT rights for a very long while as well, and very openly as well. So I do have to say that obviously I am against detransitioners in the perspective of rather, I will word it this, I don't think they need to be vocal about paddling trans rights backwards. That is what I really want to emphasize. Um, because just because someone did a mistake or thought they weren't assessed properly does not mean that they should be showing that this is dangerous or that this should be more critiqued and etc. And obviously right now we have in the UK the fact that a woman can only be a biological woman, and that obviously leads trans men to be in women bathrooms, and that leads trans women to be in men bathrooms, which is absolutely horrendous, transphobic, and absolute dog shit. But going back to detransitioners, I want to say that obviously through my life, I have met trans people who realize, well, maybe I'm not trans, or maybe I don't need hormones, or maybe they think they don't need surgeries, and that is their choice, that is their assessment, and that is what ultimately what they need. And I have to say that I think one of the best representations or talked about it would be like on Drag Race. Sometimes you have obviously trans women and you have non-binary people, and you have just men, gay men who thought they were trans women, tried transitioning and went back, and you don't see them being against trans people, which is something that detransitioners actively are. They feel like there's an agenda, they feel like this is all like a way to sort of erase women, if specifically if it's detransitioned cis woman, I guess, in this case. Like you've had Akira, who's a drag queen, speak on All Stars and RuPaul's Drag Race, sort of, you know, that she transitions, I'm talking about it more like in drag, that's what I'm saying, and she transitions for a bit, realized that it wasn't who she is, that she's just a drag queen, not a trans woman. She stopped hormones, went back to her life, and that was it. And she talks about with partners, sort of like, yeah, like my body changed, or maybe she had some procedures done. I really can't remember. Like, this is a part of my history, and that's okay to say that. What is not okay is to police your experience on other people. Because it's fine to sort of say it's okay to sort of reassess, to reevaluate. And this is something I even had a discussion with my partner, like, sort of. I still feel like I will say this. I do feel like transition is a decision that we need to make ourselves first and foremost, and we need to understand ourselves. Therapists obviously can help us, and there's a reason we need doctors for this. And I have met people who were denied and realized they weren't trans in the end. I have met people again who thought they were binary trans, want to transition all the way, and then they realize they're not. Obviously, I don't know everyone's story, but I know a lot of people, like people who are close to me, friends, close friends, which thought they were like trans and then realized they're not, and that's it, and that's fine. They don't go around politically trying to assassinate other trans people, you know? And in general, I don't understand why being trans is such a big deal. And I want to emphasize this sort of, what do people gain from it? What does one gain from being actively against someone else? And I do understand that I'm a very sort of, everyone deserves to be treated equally and nicely by everyone else, and that is not the case in our fucked up world. But that's the thing, sort of, if something didn't work for you, doesn't mean it's not gonna work for someone else. And spewing hate, spewing this idea that being trans is horrible, transition is terrible, doctors are not equipped, is horrifying information. And it's just in the same rhetoric as spreading bullshit about vaccines, being weird about COVID. And I really wish this misinformation would stop. And we just are fueled by this hatred of people. And people sort of blame immigrants, like in the US. We have with Donald Trump and his gang. Then we have, like in the UK, like sort of weird TERFs saying, oh, like trans women are the downfall or whatever. And detransitioners who blame trans people and doctors. And all of this is just because people can't stand difference, or people have their own issues, their own insecurities. And very often, like, to sort of realize that, oh, like, men are the problem or whatever. And they sort of start hallucinating that all the men around them are bad, and that some women are men when they're not. Like, a trans woman is still a woman. And obviously, trans men are men. So it's a very difficult situation, and it's very heartbreaking and soul-shattering to see the UK go down this very dark path. I really don't know what to say. And I feel like specifically like the detransitioners are very loud, and people who just realize that they're not trans just move on, live their life. I feel like if we need any help for detransitioners, is literally to make them sit in front of the therapist and sort of realize, why is this upsetting them so much? And maybe they would need to realize, maybe they're a gender they don't realize they are, like maybe they're non-binary, or maybe they are binary and they just don't need certain surgeries. And this is still important to realize. And again, there's no specific way to be a man, there's no specific way to be a woman, there's no specific way to be non-binary. It's all, there are certain interchangeable rules and definitions, and as we progress as people, we understand gender a bit better, but it's still, it's a personal thing. Everyone understands it differently. Everyone can be sort of having a different relationship with their gender and who they are. So yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted to say. And also, like, maybe them arguing that we need to listen to detransitioners and there's not so many of them, maybe because there aren't that many people who are angry at the medical institutions. So yeah, and those which end up being loud, there's still very few of them compared to the massive amounts of people who support trans people, the medical expertise which is behind trans people and how to help dysphoria. So yeah, I really hope things do get better in the UK somehow, some point. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry for late. Obviously, I'm in Portugal, so I'm sure you've seen all the jokes that we had a blackout because of Spain, and I've just been really, really tired of everything. So thank you very much for watching. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to leave a like, and feel free to leave a comments. Share this video to punch a detransitioner which hates trans people. Thank you.